don't care. We there's such a good story.
Showtime.
When your bills are
Mike.
substantial and you really need a friend. When your problem is financial, you have a friend with money to lend.
It's him.
When your problem is financial, you have a friend with money to lend.
We're live.
Hello, this is George Romero. You're listening to East Coast Horror Group.
He did.
The true death.
Hey! Hello! You made it! Glad you're here with us today.
Are you on top of a mountain?
Hello! I'm shouting from my pulpit. From my pedestal in the sky. Where I can look down at everyone else. But yes, Mike. I'm glad to see everybody down here for us today. Thank you so much. Coming out and sharing this wonderful Thursday night with us here on From Dusk Till Con Radio. We are your hosts down there. Hello. The East Coast Horror Group. That's us. I'm Drew, and you heard Mr. Michael Exler here earlier telling me that I was yelling from a mountain. So let's formally introduce Mr. Exler. And welcome him to the show, everyone. Round of applause for Michael Exler.
Yay! It's me. We are here to talk about things.
We're here to talk about things, yeah. And sing about things, too.
We do sing a bit.
We like to sing.
Doop-doop-a-doop.
You know, I figured maybe we'll just start the show off with, we had George Romero, obviously, doing the bumper for the show. Obviously, we're very much appreciative of that. It's something that we'll cherish for a long time. We make jokes sometimes, but it's all in good fun. I ran across a thread today on social media.
The medias.
The social Medeas. The social Tyler Perry brings you Medea's family Halloween.
Boo 2. No.
Yeah, I know. I understand the reference. Yes. But the Riff Tracks, which is basically the guys from Mystery Science 3000, kind of just go around and do what they've always done, which is bag on B movies, especially B horror movies. And it's real fucking hard to deny that Night of the Living Dead is a B horror movie. Would you agree with that, Mike?
I just find it hard to watch older films and be scared by them. The story is scary to me for Night of the Living Dead, but just how it's shown, I just can't get into it, man. I appreciate it. It's one of the few black and white movies I will watch.
And Schindler's List.
Yeah, that's a good movie, not lying. But so it's just real hard for me to get into older films. But that is one I will watch on occasion.
Well, it's not really so much about are you afraid of it, is what is it a B movie? You know what I mean? That's not a big budget film, right?
Right. Well, they did after they got taken off the air. They started riff tracks and they got licensing. And I remember they were riffing like Titanic. They were riffing a whole bunch of fucking.
Well, they did
Hollywood
Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like they're just shitting on bad movies.
No, they were. That was their original gimmick, but then it changed a little bit when they got on the internet. So you can go turn a movie on and then turn this MP3 file on at the same time, and it'll sync. But yeah, they've not attacked, but riffed like every film, dude. I think it's...
You know what movie they attacked unfairly?
Jaws.
I'm out.
So they did it to Jaws too?
No, to Jaws 1.
Boom.
There you are. I have not watched it because I didn't want to get very angry. But they did do it, and I will say I actually saw the Misty 3K version of Night of the Living Dead. They did it as a live video stream. I think it was either last year or the year before. And as you know, like, riff tracks is the Mike... Which one's Mike Nelson? I think Mike Nelson is Misty 3K, and Joel Hodgson does the riff tracks. I think that's how it broke up.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah. But I saw the Misty 3K bunch do that, and then, because that movie wasn't long enough, they also did Santa Claus and the Blue Bunny or something. Some really bizarre Santa Claus movie. Short. But... frankly, I think it's funnier when it's really bad movies. And even Night of the Living Dead, yeah, it's an inexpensive film, but it's actually a watchable film. I didn't find it as funny. I don't know. I'm out.
I don't know. I've never seen one of like a film that wasn't some sci-fi bullshit. You know what I mean, or some bad horror movie. I never saw it, so I don't know. I can't say. But you were saying about the social medias,
right? Well, I mean, basically, can we both say that the movie isn't flawless, especially to today's standards? You know, that it's maybe technically had some flaws to it, even.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's a perfect.
The sound and continuity and all this kind of stuff. Basically, this guy who has an opinion like everybody else does, thought it was funny. Thought the riff tracks was funny, and pointed out times in the film where, for instance, Johnny has taking his gloves off in the car and throws them on the dashboard, and the very next shot he's putting them on. There's no continuity of how he got his glasses back, etc., etc. Things that when you look out the window it's daytime, but from the inside it's nighttime. And it's going to happen. It's your first ever film, right?
Yeah.
That you did for nothing.
Right.
And it's like the regard for it comes from the history and the trail that it blazed for what we're able to have today. Things like 28 Days Later, etc. So people really love this film, and that's fine. I'm glad that you have something that you're passionate about. But it was almost to the point where people would just plug their ears and say it was perfect whenever obvious things were pointed out with a timestamp of when it happened in the movie.
Yeah.
And the only thing that kept coming out as an argument was that, oh, you must have got the public domain version. You should go spend $200 on it, and it's not in there.
The new 4K restoration of it or whatever.
Yeah, the new Super 4K that actually gives money to Rush Reiner or something.
Nice.
Was really all I got out of it. And I mean, I can like, something, and there's be problems with it, obviously.
Dude, we like horror movies.
Right?
Riddled with problems.
Exactly. And I mean, that's a great point to bring up, is that we're fans of these movies despite that. Maybe sometimes in spite of that. Because it gives us something that we can connect with more as not being perfect, just like I'm not perfect, just like you're not perfect. I think that there's enough people who went to school for this stuff, who've criticized movies before and who understand the technical aspects of it, and the acting aspects of it, and where the camera would be here and where the light should be, and being able to see things in the background, whether it be something fall in front of the lights and you can see that on screen, or a reflection in a window. That stuff comes with practice, and with money, where you can reshoot things, especially when they were shooting on film. Right, exactly. So, fuck, man, it was hard for me to believe that what lengths people will go to say something is perfect. And the really only argument was, well, the copy that you saw must have been public domain. Go spend money on it, and somehow the flaws disappear. So that's what I learned today on social media.
So I have like 3 copies.
The more money you spend, the better the movie is.
That's great. I have like 3 copies of Night of the Living Dead I bought on DVD that I bought it with money. So, like,
the cheapest one, compare it to the one you spent the most money to, and see if the one's better than the next. Are they Image 10 approved?
I don't know.
Ugh. Anyway, it was just jaw-dropping to really just see someone blatantly deny facts. Like, I understand the political world that we live in now, but, man, I don't know what it's like. Global warming, or the Earth is flat, this kind of shit. Like, what are you talking about? Just look. The facts. You don't have to be right about everything. Things that you don't. Part of growing up is learning, and then adapting your life to the new things you learn.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like, I don't know. Those people scare me, I'm not gonna lie. I know who you're talking about, and they scare me.
I was just blown away.
They're terrible people.
I shouldn't be surprised by people at all anymore, but I don't know. There's something about me that still likes to believe that when when you've been faced with absolute truths and facts, that you could say, "Oh, I'm wrong," but it's not possible.
Dude, some people will never stop fighting. Doesn't even matter.
Been wrong about a lot of things.
I'm wrong. Yeah, dude, I've been more wrong than right in my life, and the best thing I ever learned to do was admit when I was wrong and didn't know what I was talking about. Like, someone asked me something, I'd be like, I don't know. But those people, I just have to think that their lives are devoid of anything. That's what you have to spend your time doing. To defend a film, or defend an idea that you know is not true. Did you chime in, Drew?
No, I kept my way. I kept out of it. I'm better at that lately, so keeping my mouth shut times where it should. So anyway, that's really. I just thought that was a good segue from George Romero, being that was his first feature film, and I'm sure that he'd be the first one to tell you that it wasn't perfect.
No.
But
he did get his star though.
He did.
On the Walk of Fame.
Well-deserved star. Why it hadn't been there before, I don't know. How Kim Kardashian got a star on the Walk of Fame before George Romero really makes me want to not live on this fucking planet anymore. But that's another conversation.
Apparently, you just have to pay for it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Someone has to pay for it.
That's not entirely true. There is a vetting process.
Can we get an Indiegogo campaign to get East Coast Horror Group on the Walk of Fame?
Well, no, you can't. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be famous and shit.
We're famous. We're 3-time Rondo Award nominee.
Oh, hold on. We'll get that up in a second. No, there is a little bit of a process, because I actually watched a documentary about Batman, Adam West. He had to try 3 years before he got voted in. But yeah, there is a little bit of a process to make sure it's an actual celebrity, but it is 99%. Can you afford it?
Yeah.
I'm out.
So how much is it?
I don't know. Never had to buy one before.
We're buying one.
It's about $222.
56 cents.
Right.
It's about $3.50.
So it looks like Tom Savini and Greg Nicotero were on hand for the unveiling of the star.
Greggy Nick. I think I saw John Russo there.
Yeah, he looks very confused.
Yeah, he just looks confused.
Yeah, very bewildered in the background, like, what?
Where's that girl I just slipped a Mickey to? I can't lose track of her.
If that's not the fucking, like, antithesis of his career. like standing, he tried to say, and this could very well be true, but they drew straws on who was going to direct Night of the Living Dead. And George drew the straw that meant he was going to do it. So there you have George Romero with the star, and then two of Romero's students and shit, and then you have John Russo just looking confused in the back. Dude. That's
I wrote it, guys.
This shit.
Guys, I wrote this.
God damn it! Why him?
Scripts to prove it.
I'll sell you them for fucking $700.
Only 3 installments of $499.95. You can read a script that I wrote. I swear I did.
I wrote it. Please give me validation.
I don't know why John Russo has a southern accent.
I don't either.
You know what? I went with it.
You owned it.
He listens to this. Ugh.
That was high tempo, right there.
I wrote this.
That's so awesome.
Jesus, John, settle down. I did it, guys. I did it. Put my star here. John, Jesus, all right, dude. Fuck, get out of here.
Tim even cropped the top of his head off, dude. Like, you can't even see his face in the picture.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome. I know, he probably didn't mean to do that, but that's what usually happens to that guy.
I can see it, yeah. He's wearing the fucking JCPenney suit. I see.
It's like, huh?
Shit. I need you to change me.
I wrote it, I swear. Have you ever seen any of his other films?
Well, no, they were made for like about $3.50. Oh,
dude, I've never seen Midnight or Midnight 2 because I watch Majorettes, and I'll tell you fucking what, dude, you could throw that movie right in the trash, dude. Awful.
It's puppets?
No, Majorettes.
That's a marionette.
Yeah. In high school, man. The fucking.
No, we need to make Night of the Living Dead with marionettes.
Oh God, we piss everybody off.
I know.
We already have.
I probably pissed 6 people off just since we started the show 17 minutes ago.
Actually, we have a count. It's 42.
42 people have been.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
42.
all the people who, with a southern accent that were listening, were automatically offended whenever I did that. Sorry, guys. It really had nothing to do with you.
I think you're onto something with the marionettes and Night of the Living Dead, because it's been done every other possible way.
And no matter what, if you pay $60 for it, it'll be fucking perfect.
Come out.
Don't watch that shit I put up for free on YouTube. That's not as good. It's the fucking same story. Shut up. Ugh. Well, we have to reel this back in somehow. Let's reel it back in. And I just got finished watching American Horror Story about, an hour before the show started. And I wanted to get your take on it. Attention, of course, there will be spoilers contained for this episode of American Horror Story Cult. It's episode 8. So,
You like haven't used your voice at all this show.
I know, it's never been either John Russo or Carl. Yeah, so I saw this show and you know what I'm saying. Get in with your tits.
I wouldn't be your friend if you talk like that.
Oh, fuck. So, I watched the show today, and man, there was some really good stuff, and there's some really fucking weird stuff. Here's the weird thing that I don't understand, and maybe I'm just trying to make connections where there aren't none, but I thought this was pretty obvious that the blonde guy, who basically looks to me like Leto from Fight Club, Jared Leto's character from Fight Club.
I didn't know he was in Fight Club.
Yeah, Jared Leto is the kid who he destroys something beautiful. That's Jared Leto.
Oh.
Anyway, he is a corrupt gay police officer Nazi?
He's not gay, dude. He said that clearly. He said that before he got his head blown off. He's not gay.
I'm not gay, dude. I just fuck guys.
Doesn't work like that.
So, I mean... but what's with the Nazi memorabilia stuff? Was it just to show that he was like a white nationalist before, so he already had the seeds sown, rather?
I have no idea, dude. This episode was all over the place, and
what was up with the Nazi memorabilia in his house? I didn't get it.
I don't know. I have no idea why he would be a Nazi. I don't know. I don't understand the angle on it.
I mean, I thought that Kai rather played him pretty well. I think he took all that information in, that he was ashamed that he was impotent with a female, realized he was gay, and instead kind of turned it around and blamed it on women, and said that they're taking your power from you every time you have sex with them. That's why. So you should have sex with guys instead, and they'll make you more powerful. So to him, obviously that meant he wasn't gay. All he was doing was trying to regain power. Obviously that's a lie. He just couldn't handle. He couldn't handle the thought of being gay for some reason, even though it's 2017. But for some reason that just couldn't. You can't be a Nazi and a corrupt cop. But I'll fuck it if I'm gay. I'll extort drug dealers, and I love killing Jews, but I won't be gay. Damn it! This makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. And I don't know. Maybe I don't have the mentality, but I don't get why people fall for cults, man. I just don't.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. Fucking Scientology. I was watching Leah Remini's show. Yeah. Yes, I was watching Leah Remini's show.
I watched it. I've watched it since the beginning.
And I'm like, how fucking sad and devoid of meaning does your life have to be to join something like this, to be able to have a purpose?
Dude, the only ones that I feel bad for are the fucking kids that get born into it that have no choice. But the people that go off the street and sign all these contracts and pay all this money...
$1 billion-year contract?
You're fucking idiots.
Somebody tells me to sign $1 billion-year fucking contract. What the fuck are you talking about? How do you enforce that?
Dude, it's fucking... That show... Like, the round tables that they do where they bring people in and talk... Like, the last one I just watched was about the business model, about how they do hard selling to get these people to give as much money as they possibly can. And it's fucking crazy, the episode. But the ones that are about, like, the kids and... Like, the one dude fucking threw himself off a building because of it and shit. Like, they're just real depressing when they go talk to people.
Yeah, so it happens when you're in a cult for so long.
Yeah, like, that place needs shut the fuck down, like, now. They did
They must be giving some amount of money.
It was they did a financial episode, and they had a guy that was in the registrar. He was, like, the head guy. And he said the last time he had, like, clearance to see, like, everything, the last time he was there, which was, like, 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, and he left, it said they were pretty much sitting at around $3 billion.
It's a big business.
Like, I just... Someone just go close it down. Like, why? What the fuck?
Or just tax them, for fuck's sake.
Dude, they get into the fucking they get into some of these contracts, not even the billionaire one, but that if you are a Scientologist, you pay all this money, and then you decide you're not a Scientologist and you want your money back, or you just want your money back, but you still want to stay at that level of Scientologist. They declare you a suppressive person, kick your ass out. So when you say, I need my money back, they're like, well, since you're a suppressive person and this is all a religion, that you signed a contract stating that you understand that this is a religion, that you, since you're a suppressive person, they'll be like, yeah, come on in and fill out this form and we'll give you your money back. And then they'll be like, oh, never mind, you're a suppressive person, so you can't step foot on this land. So you can't fill out this form, therefore you can never get your money back. It's fucking insane.
Like, I understand that they have good lawyers and they use a lot of money on legal teams, but it seems so obvious. Like, how is there that many loopholes? How have they not been able to shut the loopholes to fucking burn that place to the ground by now?
I don't know, but it needs to happen.
And it happens in other countries besides just the U.S. I mean, I'm sure the U.S. is more liberal as far as religion goes, about letting you practice and stuff like that. But like Australia and like the UK and the you know, some of those Nordic countries that these people come from, one would assume that their governments would tell them not to step foot in here anymore.
Well, it's funny. Australia is the only one that will not recognize Scientology as a religion.
Huh.
They said, "Fuck you. This is ridiculous."
Thank you, Australia.
Yeah, they did, man. They were like, "Fuck off. You're not doing this." Like, we don't even understand why everybody else was like, "Oh, that's cool." Yeah, dude. Australia. That's where it's at.
Look at everybody looking to try to take their morals from the penal colony, basically.
Exactly. So, but I don't know. Kai's weaving a lot of webs in American Horror Story, and like, I hope he's keeping track.
I mean, that it's this him as a leader and as a believable, you know, cult messiah leader, whatever. To me, after this episode is it's completely down the drain. I don't think he has any kind of control anymore. He's definitely flying by the seat of his pants. He made this shit up where he fucks the gay guy while he's fucking his sister so that they can make a messiah baby. And that was a scene.
And that song, I
swear. My God! I swear by them. It was a sacred song. Like, I understand. There's no way that they played that and didn't laugh at it, right? But that's not. There's not a place, and that's not a place that I feel. The mood isn't so that you should play that fucking song and laugh right then. It was disgusting. It was rape.
Yeah.
They're playing, and I swear by the moon and the stars in the sky, and I swear. You don't have to be so quiet. It's not a solo.
Dude, I can't get it.
You can sing backup for me if you want.
I hate that song. And
is that All for One?
Yeah, dude.
All for One, okay.
Yeah. I remember I was in middle school and we had those stupid middle school dances after
school. Yeah.
And they played that fucking like 800 times. It was terrible. I hated that song. It got so much airplay. Blech. And then that played, and now I associate it with weird rape stuff.
It very much reminded me of A Handmaid's Tale, how they reproduce there. Very strange. Handmaid's Tale on Hulu?
I don't know what that is.
Basically, the world is... there aren't many fertile women left.
Oh.
And unless you're super, super rich, you're basically a slave, and especially if you're a woman. An infertile woman. But if you're a fertile woman, basically what they do is prepare you for this religious doctrine cult and give you to rich people so that you can have their baby. And when they have sex, it's the man having sex with this fertile woman who is a handmaid, while his wife is also in the bed so that they can have a child.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Even when she gives birth, it's like they're fake giving birth while she's actually giving birth in worse conditions. Like, just a fucked up show. Anyway. But, I mean, she referenced Handmaid's Tale in that as well. But I guess the two big reveals were that his brother, who was the psychologist, somehow didn't realize that was happening. I thought for sure that he understood that.
Yeah, me too. I was like, is this dude lying? Like, I didn't understand. I thought he was completely in, but...
Yeah. And that's how he knew the fears and stuff. But somehow Kai broke into his office and looked all that stuff up.
Yeah.
But he finds out and realizes that, hey, Sarah Paulson's not a fucking crazy person. So he goes and he apologizes and said, let's make this right. We're going to do this. And I thought that was a good plan, personally. I'm like, yeah, they can do this. Great. He's a doctor, so that's a good witness. And then, obviously, this girl's been through so much that a jury would feel bad, or the law enforcement community would understand that they did something wrong and make it right. But instead, Sarah Paulson's character gets this leverage that she has this information on Kai's brother and tells him in order to somehow trust him to hold his word that she'll get her son back with this information.
It's all about the son.
And then at the end of the episode, you see that she's actually one of the people with the clown masks on in Kai's group now. So...
You missed the third reveal, dude.
What's the third reveal?
That Kai's sister, that Carrie Fisher's daughter...
Oh, yeah.
...has no facial expression whatsoever.
No, she is very much... that's that way with pretty much everything I've ever seen her in.
Yeah, she just kind of looks. It's weird. She kind of weirds me out, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, and the reporter has to go to solitary forever or something, though.
That's a bad move.
Yeah. They shouldn't have kept her alive. She's vicious as hell.
Fuck yeah, dude. Like, she is definitely not one.
I'm more afraid of her.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
She fucking left morals and laws behind, and I hope that she gets out of solitary.
Yeah, me too. I think Winter will let her out because she feels too bad about what she did.
Dude, scum's gonna rise.
Dude, how about the weird fucking Death House fucking murder ride that they had?
Yeah, right?
I love how they're like, he's in the dark web. And like, the dark web is anything that you can't get to unless you have a password. Like Facebook, like Facebook.com is surface web, but as soon as you put your login information in, something that no one else can get to, you're now in the quote unquote dark web. That's all it is. Anyway.
That's where you buy people.
That's where you buy people that you think you're buying people, but it's actually federal agents everywhere now anyway. So.
Why don't you have a seat in that chair right there?
I'm Chris Hansen. What's this? You brought rope, condoms, and Mike's Hard Lemonade. What were you going to do? I was just going to tell her this is a bad idea, I swear. How about this text message that says, I can't wait to fuck your feet. That was just I know that's show. Not funny, but Jesus, man.
It's a great show, dude.
Just stop lying about it. Can't try to get yourself out of that shit, man. I know there was one guy that they got twice.
That's the extra special idiot.
And then that teacher killed himself and they stopped making the show. Seems to be what always happens. They're willing to push the envelope just far enough until someone dies.
Maybe it's what on the dark web.
I forget which talk show it was. If it was Sally Jesse Raphael or one of those. Jenny. I think it was Jenny.
Yeah, dude, I know. Yeah, it was Jenny.
There was like, somebody has a secret crush on you.
Yeah.
And it was like the early 90s. And it was a guy who had a homosexual crush on another guy. and he killed him.
He sure did, man. That was fucked up.
That was super fucked up.
Yeah, that was, I remember that.
So, so that's what we think about American Horror Story.
In a roundabout way.
Right. Yeah, I see it. I see the women winning eventually because, I mean, you can tell that Kai has no clue what's happening anymore.
No, he's
I thought that
off
maybe he was a genius for a while, but nope, he's fucked.
Yeah.
He's in way too deep.
No.
All he has now is muscle. He has no plan anymore, and that's not a way. That's not a good way to go.
He's gotten kind of annoying to me.
Yeah, this last episode definitely, like I said, made me lose any confidence I had in his character left.
In his
It sucks because he turned out so good. He started out really, really strong.
Yeah, he did. And then all went to shit after he got shot. How many episodes are there of?
I believe there's 2 more.
That's it?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, this is a shit ton better than Roanoke. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'll say that too. You're right. I would have liked to have seen. We didn't get to see her, did we? Kathy Bates. She wasn't in this at all, was she?
No, because she's in that other show now.
Oh, the show with the weed smoking on Netflix.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
She owns a dispensary.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a good show.
Yeah, it is funny. Other than the laugh track.
Disjointed.
Disjointed, yes.
I found I could like tune it out after a while.
Yeah.
It didn't be.
Whoa! Did you hear that?
No.
Sorry.
What happened?
I don't know.
Fuck you, Drew.
So, I know that, moving on from American Horror Story, I know that you had a tradition of seeing the Saw movies during Halloween. Did you have a chance to see the latest Saw movie yet?
No, it comes out Friday, tomorrow.
Right.
So I'm going to see it this weekend. So I'm pretty...
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to get back to that Halloween tradition of seeing a Saw film. So I'm a little confused though, because like the tagline is "Live or Die, the choice is yours." Has anybody heard that?
No.
I always thought it was "Live or Die, make your choice." So why is it different now?
Wait, what?
On this, when Jigsaw sent you a tape,
Right.
and at the end he said, like right before the tape shuts off, he always said, "Live or die, make your choice." But now I heard in the preview him saying, "Live or die, the choice is yours." So why is the tape different? Why did he
Really, man?
change? Yeah, dude, that
Count
bothered me.
calories again?
No, dude, that's like
Count calories here?
that's like a famous line of his character. I'm trying to think of something to equate it to, but I can't.
Because it's not real.
You're not real. But I'm going to see it this weekend, and I'm excited to see it.
All right. Well, yes, we're all, holding our breaths, waiting for you to reveal why they switched 2 words around at the end of the tape. So, on the edge of my seat here.
So that's how I see things sometimes. It bugs me.
Literally says exactly the same thing. Thank you.
It does not. It says the same thing, but it's not the same.
Make your choice. The choice is yours. Interchangeable. Absolutely interchangeable.
The choice is yours just sounds fucking stupid. Hate it. Doesn't roll off the tongue.
What are you talking about? The choice is yours is used much more often in the English language than make your choice.
But it sounds much cooler. This guy could do what he wants. Why does he gotta go by the rules of the English language?
Fuck the English rules.
Going old English, fuck this. Put an E at the end of everything.
And 2 P's.
2 peas in a pod.
Shut the fuck up. I hate it when people spell shop SHOPPE.
Yeah. It's old English.
But I do love the hot dog shop, so I'm torn.
Old E.
One thing I am curious about for this Jigsaw film is I stopped watching it after 2. So I'm curious to hear you let us all know if I can go into it not giving a fuck about the rest of the films.
Right.
Or if it's something that's kind of stays true to canon and something I'd have to know the whole story for me to really enjoy it and get to its full potential.
I can report back.
Because I'm never going to watch the other 14 Saw movies that I didn't watch. I'm just not going to do it.
Not gonna do it.
So, anyways, but I mean, I don't know. If I pay hundreds of dollars for them, I might watch them because then they'll be instant classics. But
that's how it works now.
That is how it works. So speaking of a familiar friend coming back to the silver screen, Bloody Disgusting we have here. Sort of that Rob Zombie is going to make a sequel to The Devil's Rejects. We've kind of known about this, I guess. It's always weird to, like, know when you're supposed to say something.
Yeah.
Like, it must be cool now because the mainstream media, knows about it. So, I don't know.
No information.
I always feel
Good
like
news, everyone.
I always feel like having those relationships and keeping the trust there to talk about stuff like that is more important than driving people to our site with information like that. But
for sure.
I'm excited to get to talk about it again because there's lots of questions. Obviously, the article said nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, just that it's going to happen, and that was basically it. And then they just rehashed what happened at the end of The Devil's Rejects. Like, yeah, we've seen the fucking movie before, man. Anyway.
It was a terrible article.
It was. It was basically, how do I make Devil's Rejects is having a new movie? That's all the information I have. Make it 250 words now. And I'm like, that's all they did. And that was news. No, but obviously it can't be a sequel, a true sequel. It'll have to be a spin-off, something like that. I'd like a true sequel to House of the Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, dude. I've been kind of on the fence about this. Like, I love The Devil's Rejects. I think it's great, but kind of seen it already. Like House of a Thousand Corpses to me was very flashy, very in-your-face music video type thing, but there were some cool characters in there, especially with Dr. Satan and shit, that I think needs more exploring than another dirty 70s grainy film of them just killing people.
Well, that's kind of what Rob Zombie does now, right?
That's all he does, yes. He does not know how to shoot anything outside of the 70s. It's not possible for him.
The Halloween remake was not 70s-ish, even though it happened in the 70s, was supposed to, but...
Yeah, the Halloween remake just sucked. That's the difference. I'm out.
I didn't think it sucked.
The second one sucked.
I think I got about 15 minutes through the second one and fell asleep.
Oh, so terrible. Like, at least I was entertained by the first one. The second one, there was just nothing redeeming about it.
I would agree. The first one was better, but it still was terrible. It took all the fear out of it. It was just brutal instead of frightening. And I think the original Halloween took very, very little and made a lot out of it. And I think
it's almost like that John Carpenter guy knew what he was doing.
Yeah, it's almost like he had some talent. You know what it was? The movie was not Carpentinian enough. That
Carpenterinian.
Okay.
Carpenterinian.
It's not even a thing.
It is a thing. It's in the fucking glossary.
I can't wait for it to be in the movie house. I'm out.
I hate you, Tim.
And is this another? Is this a film that's going to go to the movie house, or is this going to be another 31 where he self-distributes? Like, what are we talking about here? You know what I mean?
I assume that these films in this particular, the Devil's Rejects kind of area, that universe. That's what I was looking for. The Devil's Rejects Houses 1,000 Corpses universe has a big enough following to warrant a wide release, even though it's been, 15 years since the last one?
Yeah, I don't even know when the last one was. A long time ago.
I want to say 2003 for some reason.
Where's the chat room when we need them?
The chat room is going to have to be me, I think, dude.
The chat room is 30 seconds behind you, so
give
them some time, guys.
2005. So
2005.
I'm out. And by the way, Ben just put it in at 2005. I told you, about 30 seconds.
Thanks, Ben.
I'm out.
Good news, everyone!
I don't know. I don't know what to think about this movie. And do we ask them in Chicago? Do we ask them about it?
I doubt they'll be able to say much.
Yeah.
They have a script, I'm sure, and that's about it. I don't think they filmed anything.
No.
And obviously, Bill and Sid are going to be in it, so it's going to revolve around those guys. But in what capacity? Because until midway through the House of 1,000 Corpses, you didn't even know that they knew each other.
Well, you didn't know where Spaulding fit in until the very end. I don't know. They're not going to get Tiny back, that's for sure.
Well, that'd be because, I guess they could get, like, the dude who plays the super tall guy who's, like, at all the... Ian White, is that his name?
Oh, yeah. Right.
They did just, like, put a suit on him or something, but... You can't recreate that gimp, dude.
No, dude. It's impressive. Impressively weird.
Apparently the murder ride, I just read, actually went to like a Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights at some point. The actual one that was in the film.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Because they did a House of 1,000 Corpses themed house there at some point.
Yeah.
And they actually used the actual screen-used murder ride from the film. A little bit of trivia there.
Damn it. I wish they would do a sequel to House of
Would you rather it be called House of 2,000 Corpses or House of 1,001 Corpses? One corpse?
1,001 corpses.
1,001 corpses. That's... You know what? I like that. So...
That one could
That's actually an old song, 1,001 corpses sitting on a wall. 1,001 corpses on the wall.
And he's out.
I'm out.
I thought that was 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
It is. Tim's dumb.
Take one down, pass it around.
Fuck you, Drew.
99 bottles of... Wow, I almost went real bad with that one. Now...
Okay.
Getting away from some of the horror news to talk about... Now, Mike, you have Toy Hio 2, the blowjobs. What does that mean?
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. But Toy Hio 2 does take place next weekend.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Go to Toy Hio!
Oh, had I known. God, I didn't know what that meant. Oh, God, I'm so pissed. I would have had that ready to go. Dang it.
But yes, if you enjoyed the first Toy Hio, this is Toy Hio 2. Bigger, badder, bloodier. Enjoy yourself and the kitties with all of the wonderful toys at Toy Hio 2. The blowjobs.
I don't know why you keep saying the blowjob.
It says it on the notes. You put it in here. It says Toy Hio 2, the blowjobs, like it's a movie.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Whatever, man.
But it's
What notes is he talking about, Mike? I don't have anything like that.
Wonderlist.
No,
You guys are assholes.
Clearly, it says respectfully, Toy Hio 2. Let's speak a little bit about our friends at Toy Hio. That's what it says. I don't know where you're getting this other stuff.
Whatever, man. You see it.
I'm out.
Ugh.
So it's in.
I thought there was honest. I wasn't trying to put you on blast. I thought that meant something. I'm sorry.
It's at the Avon Oaks Ballroom in Girard, Ohio. So come on out. It's Saturday, November 4th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah. And if you don't know where Girard is, like the rest of the universe, just put it into your Google Maps application on your phone.
That's all you need.
And make sure you make your way to Toy Hio 2!
Why do you keep saying that?
They have all the toys.
Boy, were prohibited, not available in all states. So, I guess we can talk now since we're talking about toys a little bit. You want to go to the pop corner? Yeah.
Do.
Yeah, it's the pop corner. Oh yeah.
ECHG Pop Corner up on it.
That was the new theme music for Pop Corner, obviously. Oh, you know what it could be called instead?
Mark the tape.
Pop Topics.
Pop Topic.
There you go, dude. Pop Topics.
Super Happy Fun Time, man. We haven't done that in a minute.
What is Super Happy Fun Time? Is that just top 5?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, dude.
Make my dreams come true, too. I wanna be with Drew. 3. You know it's plain to see.
So why are we in Pop Corner and you're singing?
Oh, dude, sometimes I just gotta sing.
Hey, boy.
Oh,
no.
Off those tight shows.
Oh, no.
You can't play this on the air.
Damn it. So let's talk about, did you get any new pops this week?
I did get a new pop. 2 new pops this week.
Pop Topics!
I got the new Shinsuke Nakamura pop.
Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura?
That's racist, sir.
What? Just say his name.
Yeah.
Shinto
In a racial undertone, sir.
Nakamura!
And I also got the Joker Martha Wayne hot
Oh,
tub
did you?
exclusive. Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to. There was a couple when I was there the other day, and I didn't know whether or not I should get it. It's a cool looking one, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's from Flashpoint. So they had a Thomas Wayne Batman.
I remember that as
exclusive.
well.
Yeah. They have one that was a con exclusive, like way back when they first started out, and that one's worth like a shit ton of money. So they recreated one, and so the commoners can have one, you know.
The common is like us, you mean?
Yeah. Spit shine your shoes, but I got those 2. How about you?
man, I almost feel embarrassed about how many of these things I buy nowadays. But I have some good luck. I found at FYE, I found a Mr. Meeseeks Chase. I found a Flocked Chase Hot Topic exclusive Porg at Hot Topic, obviously. By the way, just shout out to Hot Topic and Robinson. I'll just say Hot Topic all around the world. You guys have always been super cool, especially with this whole pop thing, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the customer service of the corporate entities such as yourselves. Keep up the good work.
They just released a press release.
You know what? I looked at that. I was apparently the more I looked into it, was only pertained to those a select store in Arizona somewhere, and it's kind of blown up since then. That it actually isn't from Hot Topic corporate, because that would be super fucked up. It's basically just, hey, flippers, make sure you're at the mall as soon as we open.
Faux show.
So that would just be dumb. Anyway, and it would fuck me over too, so that's why it would really be dumb.
And I'm what matters.
Exactly. Now, what else did I get? I got a Beetlejuice common because the cave had like $5 pop things.
Right.
So I got a Beetlejuice common. I got a Twin Peaks The Giant common. What else did I get? I got two mystery boxes. One was the Batgirl specialty series,
right. Yeah.
And the other was Rafiki with Simba. So those were busts. What else? Bus. Oh. I think that might be it. That's not too bad. I got some mystery minis just to fill my card up. I got a couple. I got a Fallout one, which was basically just a Raider, and I got two Star Wars ones. One was BB-8, and one was Chewie holding a Porg.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and I got Dead Gus Fring from Breaking Bad because it was on the shelf for $5.
So you bought it, eh?
I did. And I like Breaking Bad. I'm really most excited for these Mortal Kombat pops and the upcoming 8-bit horror pops are the two that I have two series I have my eyes on. Also, I think what I'm going to do, honestly, and it just happens to coincide with the release of the new Stranger Things series, is I thought at first I wanted to start that as a line to collect, but I can see now that they're just going to milk that for everything they have. So I'm going to try to probably sell off or trade off a lot of my Stranger Things stuff and try to go more towards some video games and horror only. So I think that's one of the things I'm going to do and start up with this new Mortal Kombat line.
Yeah, dude, I need that Scorpion Hot Topic, man. The show. It's a real good looking one. I think that's the best pop they could have ever done. Really dig it. Pop.
I'm pumped for Goro. But have you seen the chases to Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
Like, I can't even tell the difference between the two.
No, dude, they look exactly the same.
Yeah, so that's stupid.
That's old school chases, dude. Just put a sticker and splatter some blood on it.
Yeah. So, there's Pop Topics! What else? What do you got going on? Do we have another show before Halloween? I don't think we do we?
We do not.
So what are you going to do for Halloween, man?
I'm out.
Mike?
Mike, fuck the dog.
Did we lose
probably
Mike?
No, I'm right here. Hello.
What are you going to do for Halloween?
I'm going to probably pass out candy to kids. And
are you allowed to do that with your, with your parole stuff?
Well, it's debatable, but it's going to happen. So, yeah, do that. Probably watch a movie. It might be cliche, but we always watch Halloween original.
Have you listened to the Trent Reznor remix of the The Halloween thing?
Yeah, I did.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a song.
Right. But, kids don't come to my house.
I wouldn't either.
No, but if they did, maybe this will force people to start coming. I'd give them an East Coast Horror Group t-shirt. What better Halloween present than an East Coast Horror Group t-shirt? Fun for everyone.
What the fuck's a Halloween present?
What do you mean Halloween present?
You just said
it's your
it.
Treat.
That
Treat, dude.
You get Halloween presents from the Great Pumpkin when he comes to your Sincere Pumpkin Patch.
No.
You know
Linus
this.
proved that was bullshit.
No, you have to believe that was his mistake. He didn't believe enough, and it was not a sincere pumpkin patch. It needs to be sincere.
And did you notice they don't call it trick or treat? It's tricks or treats.
Yeah,
it's both.
That's what it was called in the mid '60s.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's because
why would you pluralize both of them?
I don't know.
They actually overused apostrophes up until about 1972. I'm out.
It's like some Jeopardy level shit right there, dude.
That's a weird fucking trivia to know. 1972 was the year they stopped overusing punctuation.
That's what we bring you here. Facts.
Facts, and also
Sex.
what rhymes with facts?
Max.
Correct. We'll bring you Max. Well, I mean, that's pretty much on the dot, man. We did a good show today. It went by quick. I think we had a lot. I had fun. I hope everybody else had a lot of fun. Mike, what did you think of the show today?
It was stupendous.
Well, I hope everyone has an amazing Halloween. I hope that if this goes up before Halloween, you guys get to check it out and enjoy Halloween with us. Make sure you check out the YouTube page. Obviously, if you're there right now, you've been there. If you're listening to this recorded afterwards, go check it out and subscribe so you can listen to us live on your phone, wherever you are. So
right your ear holes.
Right into your ear holes and out your
nostrils.
This has been another wonderful episode of From Dusk Till Dawn Radio. We hope you had all the cons, creeps, and culture that you could stomach. Bye now.
East Coast Horror Group.
Hey, Mike. Remember whenever you closed D's nuts?
Nope.
I remember.
Do you remember the time
when we first fucked?
Fell in love.
And I swear,
we're still live.
by the moon and the stars in the sky.